Welcome to the journey of Aadas Bollwerk. In modern Tibia, it is easy to swipe a credit card, buy the best gear and blindly rush levels without experiencing a lot of the content the game has to offer. But that is not what this series is about. I wanted to experience the struggle, the progression, and the satisfaction of earning every single upgrade myself. So I have set up a basic set of rules. Here is the short version. Number 1, no pay to win. I can only use real money to maintain my premium account. Number 2, self-found. I cannot buy equipment from other players unless I have personally looted it first or completed the corresponding quest. Number 3, restricted economy. I can only sell items on the market for which I have absolutely no possible use anymore now or in the future. No infinite money on low levels by just selling a few medicine pouches to other players. Once an item no longer has any kind of use for me, I will allow myself to sell it on the market. And finally, quest and bestiary progression over experience. If a spawn offers no new bestiary entries, no items I need for a quest, or no weekly or daily task, I have to move on. No staying in overpowered spawns because it's the best experience per hour. This covers the essentials, but I will keep all the rules in the video description. These may change or I may have to add additional rules down the road. But for now, let's start into my first week. This is the story of Aadas Bollwerk. I started out exploring Newhaven. Viola the spell trainer and Gustavo the guard both gave me a mission to do in the northern parts of the island. Viola asked me to find a book lost in the corrupted mines for her. Gustavo requested I kill 20 members of the Mugalex clan. On my way through the mines, I encountered the Corruptor, which dropped some useful starter gear for me. During the mission for Gustavo, I killed the Mugalex clan chief, who also dropped pieces of the brass set. I turned in both quests, and ship captain Anna took me to the Thais Peninsula, where I met Hector the Mentor, who asked me to kill the rabid wolves in their den and search for the cause of their aggression. After slaying the wolves, I encountered Trollwood and found a maddening mushroom in a corpse nearby. I brought it back to Hector, who asked me to deliver the mushroom to Benjamin in Thais. Now that I completed the tutorial, I decided to get some gear upgrades. I did the scale armor quest in the northern Thais troll cave, and then traveled to Edrin to do the brass legs quest, as well as the goblin quest for a silver amulet and a steel shield. Afterwards, I headed to Vinner and completed Boozer's mission in Khazad-dûm to obtain the light shovel. On my way, I managed to complete my first weekly hunting task, which was lions in the desert east of Venner. To finish off my first day, I bought some essential spells and then headed to the offline trainer with a full starter kit. The next day, I did a short swamp troll hunt south of Venner. Afterwards, I went to Ankramon to do the larva weekly task, as well as the steal from thieves quest for some brown mushrooms. I then headed to Liberty Bay to do the daily hunting task, which was carrion worms. They were quite strong for my level and low skills, but it was manageable. Next, I traveled to Port Hope to help out Grizzly Adams by starting the Killing and the Name Off questline. I did the crocodile task while hunting both the cave and the ground floor of the jungle north of Port Hope to also get some tiger kills and some other bestiary progress. After the crocodile task, Grizzly Adams asked me to kill Snapper in the crocodile cave. I did not get any lucky drops, but gained some decent experience and first progress in the quest line. I then decided to get some questing done. I requested to join the Explorers Guild, and they asked me to bring them a dwarven pickaxe. I met Spectulus in Edron and did the first part of the Sea of Light quest for him. While he did his research, I traveled back to Venner and headed to the outlaw camp to do the Rotten Wood and the Married Men quest line, which gives some decent money early on. I then did the Toad task and part of the Gloom Wolf weekly task in the Tainted Caves, which was quite difficult for me to hunt as the tainted souls were very tanky. Afterwards, I headed to Khazad-dûm to obtain the dwarven pickaxe. I then met up with Spectulus again and brought him a rare crystal from a cave west of Edron. I joined the Explorer Society by turning in the pickaxe and started the ice delivery quest. Before I did the delivery quest, I started the pilgrimage for my blessings. I started in Ties, then headed to Carlin where I did the Exterminator quest for some gems. I traveled to Vija and killed the Collector as part of the mission for Spectulus. In the Folded Underground, I obtained the piece of ice the Explorer Society requested. I rushed back to Port Hope to turn in the quest and then finished off my pilgrimage. Fully blessed, I returned to swamp trolls in the Venner Swamp as I had a daily task for them. Once done, I headed back to Spectulus and did the Jack to the Future questline. I decided to lie to Jack during the final part of the questline, but in the future I can reset the quest to obtain the alternative achievement. I accepted the Rest in Hallowed Ground quest in the Edron Temple and then headed to Darashia, where I did the Stealth Ring quest in the Dark Pyramid. With the Stealth Ring, one then traveled to Abdendrael and did the Blind the Enemy quest in Elvenbane. Afterwards, I did the White Raven Monastery quest to access the Isle of Kings and obtain the Holy Water for the Rest in Hallowed Ground quest from the monk on the isle. I headed back to Edron and finished off the quest there. On my way to the Edron Cemetery, I luckily looted a deer trophy off a hunter, which will come in useful next week in order to start the Rayshid questline. Finally, I did the Skeleton Warrior hunting task in the Ghostlands west of Carlin and completed the last part of the White Raven Monastery quest there. I then headed to Khazad-dûm where I did the To Outfox a Fox quest. I found a steel helmet in the Minotaur Mountain, which was a nice upgrade. As I had the Rotworm task, I decided to finish those off in a smaller cave near Venner, which also contains some Bone Lords and a small quest with a few mummies. Once that was done, I headed back to Port Hope to start hunting Dworcs, as I desperately want 3 bast skirts so I can craft myself an obsidian knife, which I want to have before I start working on the Minotaur task, which will take quite some time. I did get lucky and looted my first bast skirt in my second Dworc hunt. To get some more quests done, I decided to complete both the Postman questline as well as the Paradox Tower questline, which are both quite time-consuming but useful to have. The Postman questline is needed for some other quests as well as access to the mailboxes, and the Paradox Tower quest rewards around 10k gold as well as a phoenix egg, which will allow me to buy the Phoenix Blessings for 10% less in the future. After those 2 quest lines, I also did the To Appease the Mighty quest in Dworcs, in which I met both Djinn factions. As the Gloom Wolf World Change was currently active, I decided to finish off my weekly task of them in Venner. After that, I headed back to Grizzly Adams and accepted my second hunting task with him to kill tarantulas and their boss hide in the jungle east of Port Hope. Once complete, I progressed a bit further with the Explorer Society by doing both the plant collection mission and the butterfly hunt. I could not find a red butterfly around Port Hope, so I traveled north of Carlin to catch one there. As I was over level 35 now, I decided it was time to upgrade my gear through some quests. I did the Barbarian test in Svargrund. I did kill all the wasps I've seen so far, so I had plenty of honeycomb, but I got lucky and only required a single one. Once I completed the test, I did the Greenhorn level of the Svargrund arena and got myself the Black Steel sword, which is a massive upgrade from my 2-handed sword. With it, I then did the Noble Armor quest near Ties, as well as the Crusader Helmet quest in a Dwarven mine near Khazor-dûn. I also checked off the Dwarf Soldier and Nomad daily hunting tasks. With my new gear, I felt strong enough to start the next Grizzly Adams mission, which was mammoths. I decided to hunt them in the Mammoth Shearing factory north of Svargrund. There are both elephants and witches here. Elephants drop tusks, which I will need for the Thief's Guild questline, and witches drop bag of apple slices, which I could use to tame a donkey. I did loot some tusks from the elephants, but unfortunately, the mammoth boss did not drop any. With my new gear, I headed back to Port Hope and continued my hunt for the bast skirts. I did end up being lucky and looted both a voodoo doll, which I will need in the future for the Shaman Outfit questline, and another bast skirt after a few hours of hunting. I figured I wouldn't have to kill too many more Dworcs to loot the last bast skirt for the Sweaty Cyclops quest, but I was mistaken. It took me almost another 2,000 Dworc Venom Sniper kills to loot the last bast skirt. However, while luck was not on my side with the skirts, I did get incredibly lucky with the Voodoo Masters, which did drop 2 more voodoo dolls, bringing my total to 3 as well. That will make the Shaman questline a lot more doable in the future. After I had checked the Dworcs off my to-do list, I finished off my last 2 doable weekly tasks. I took care of the tigers in the jungle around Port Hope, though their spawns are quite limited here. The poachers I hunted down in the forest north of Edron. On the final evening of my first week, I did help out Grizzly Adams some more. I completed the Carnifila task 3 times in a row for him in the Tequanda laboratory, and fought Deathbine, the Carnifila boss, 3 times as well. With Deathbine defeated and those hard-earned bast skirts finally in my backpack, I am ready for the next steps. In the upcoming days, we are finally crafting the obsidian knife and tackling the massive Minotaur task to obtain the backpack of the citizen outfit. It's going to be a long grind, but Aadas Bollwerk is just getting started. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.